We're at Biotech Showcase in San Francisco, and I have the pleasure of speaking with Erica Smith, VP of Business Development at Tools4Patient. Hello, Erica.
Good morning.
Could you tell us a bit about Tools4Patient?
Absolutely. Tools4Patient was founded by a group of industry veterans that have been running clinical trials for decades. And they had the lofty ambition of trying to tackle some of the issues and make clinical trials run more slowly and less effectively than they should be. And the overall goal of the company is to accelerate the launch of much needed drugs to patients. So the company was founded in 2013, and we launched our first product, Placebell, at the middle of last year.
So tell me a bit more about how this idea emerged.
So our group set out to develop predictive algorithms to optimize the conduct of clinical trials. And the first issue that we decided to focus on was the placebo effect. So the placebo effect has confounded drug development for decades. And while many people have put lots of great efforts into trying to understand and manage this, there have been very few gains in managing the impact of the placebo effect in clinical trials over the last 30 years. So our team, which includes clinical pharmacologists, data scientists, and statisticians, set out to develop a more sophisticated, data-driven scientific approach to minimize the impact of the placebo effect on clinical trials. And the end result of all of those efforts was the product Placebell.
That's an interesting concept. Can you tell us a bit more about Placebell?
Absolutely. So Placebell is a predictive algorithm that takes into consideration many of the factors that the scientific community have found to be associated with the placebo response over the last several decades. So these factors include things like personality traits, include patient characteristics, things like how long a patient has had a certain disease, how many medications the patient may be taking for that disease, as well as demographics, so the age and gender of the patient, maybe the geography of the patient. And our algorithm takes all of these data, combines it into the algorithm, produces one single number, and that number describes the expected magnitude of that patient's placebo response. This number can be incorporated into the statistical analysis at the end of the trial and reduce the impact of the placebo effect on the trial data.
So that seems simple enough. Is there a downside?
So there really is no downside to using this technology. The beauty of this approach is that the only change that is made to the conduct of the clinical trial is the inclusion of our questionnaire to measure traits of personality that are associated with the placebo response at the beginning of the study. It's only given to patients once, and with this simple change, we can explain double digits of variance in the data. So when this is incorporated in the statistical analysis, we can actually improve the ability to discriminate between placebo-treated patients and drug-treated patients. Importantly, this decreases the risk of failing to pursue a drug that actually is efficacious, but does not increase the risk of pursuing a drug that's not efficacious. So the risk to the trial is very minimal. Ultimately, we are just trying to help drug developers make decisions more effectively and more efficiently.
You mentioned that Placebell is disease-specific. So which diseases are you working in?
In order to be optimally applied, Placebell needs to be calibrated in each disease using a subset of placebo patients. We have initiated trials and completed some trials in areas like pain, osteoarthritis, and Parkinson's disease, but we recognize that this could be broadly applied in many indications in many therapeutic areas. So it can be used for things like depression, schizophrenia, epilepsy, inflammatory diseases, women's health, dermatology, and a wide variety of therapeutic areas, and we're actively working to expand this.
How do you intend to expand the indications?
Calibrating Placebell in new indications is very straightforward. All we really need is access to patients in clinical trials in that indication and the ability to administer our questionnaire. So we are doing this by entering into strategic partnerships and collaborations with companies working in these indications, and are structuring these to have significant financial and strategic advantages. These advantages include early access to the technology, include the ability to have input into the factors that are being examined and the endpoints that are being modeled with the technology, as well as significant financial advantages. So using this method, the resulting model can be robustly applied in any and all clinical trials that sponsor runs in the future, and as well, they can gain significant insight and benefit even in the trial that is being used for calibration of the model. So we really intend for this to be very advantageous for our collaborating sponsors throughout the entire process.
Well, with such minimal risk and so many benefits, I can see how this could be very desirable for potential partners. So if someone is interested in partnering with you, what's the best way for them to find you?
Yep, the best way for them to reach us is to find our website at www.tools4patient.com. That's tools, the number 4, patient.com. And there's a link on the website to contact us, and we'd be happy to talk to anyone who wants to learn more.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.